Turning our attention now to the ASX, here's Matt Birney and Bulls and Bears with the latest public company views and interviews.
Welcome to the Bulls and Bears Market Wrap, where we break down the latest ASX announcements from public companies that are doing interesting things. Today's Market Wrap is brought to you by Base Resources, ASX code BSE. I'm Matt Birney and I'm joined now on 6PR by the Managing Director of Base Resources, Tim Carstens. Hi, Tim.
Pleased to be here.
Base Resources operates the titanium-rich Kwale mineral sands mine in Kenya that it built in 2013. The operation now accounts for some 65% of the value of Kenya's mining production per annum. Base is currently working towards extending the life of the operation and bringing its world-class Toliara mineral sands mine in Madagascar into production. And interestingly, the company has just paid its first shareholder dividend. Tim, how much was that dividend and what's your current share price and what was the yield of that dividend?
The dividend was 3.5 cents per share, which on the share price at the time we made the decision to pay it of 22 cents was a 16% yield, so a pretty substantial pickup. It's had an interesting impact on the share price. I think today we're sitting at about 29 cents.
And how much money in total are you giving back by way of that dividend?
It's a little over 40 million Australian or 30 million US.
What are the major mineral sands that you produce at Kwale and what are they used for?
Ilmenite and rutile form about 75% of our revenue, and they're just different forms of titanium dioxide. And 90% of titanium dioxide goes into the production of pigment. And that pigment, that TiO2 pigment, is absolutely ubiquitous. It's in everything, in paints, plastics, papers, inks, even food colouring.
I noticed the rutile price is up about 18 or 20%, so good time to be in the business. After a quick look at your production stats at Kwale, it looks like the operation is hitting its straps. What was the annual EBITDA and sales from the mine last year?
Revenue last year was $200 million, a little over 200 million US, 208, very similar to the prior year. Net profit was around 40 million US, and importantly, free cash flow was 105 million US.
I know you've got a second mineral sands project, the Toliara project in Madagascar, that your financial modelling, albeit done last year, says could make over 160 million US dollars a year. What's the expected mine life from that project and what's the current resource there?
Well, the DFS, the definitive feasibility study we released at the end of last year, foresaw a 33-year mine life, but that was based on only roughly half of the deposit. The total deposit itself is about 1.3 billion tonnes. We've done quite a bit of drilling on it, and with more planned over the coming year, we see that growing significantly. The sort of idea we have in our heads is, well in excess of 60-year mine life.
Tim Carstens from Base Resources, thanks very much for joining me on the Market Wrap. And just remember, Bulls and Bears is only here to give you information, not advice, which you should, of course, seek independently. I'm Matt Birney. Thanks for listening to the Bulls and Bears Market Wrap.
For more public company CEO interviews, go to the Money page at 6pr.com.au and click the Public Companies tab.